Millionaires who filed for bankruptcy in 2021. If you had wealth beyond imagination, what would you buy? How would you invest your money? Well, one thing is for sure. Try your best not to spend more than you make. That is the biggest lesson that many celebrities and millionaires alike don't do. Oftentimes, their spending exceeds their income, or they neglect their taxes, or they make a poor life decision and soon find themselves drowning in alimony, child support, fines, or even bail. One thing most of these millionaires have in common, though, is by the end, the next chapter of their life is Chapter 11. These are some of the millionaires and their businesses that have filed for bankruptcy, or on the verge of bankruptcy this year. Movie theater chain Alamo Drafthouse was hit really hard by the global pandemic, shutting their doors in March of 2020. They unfortunately cannot afford to open them back up. Expenses of the business exceed the financial savings of the company. Being forced to make cuts in the number of theaters in the chain, they are struggling to stay above water. Chief Financial Officer Matthew Vonderay believes that selling the company is the best option for their future. However, because they have filed for Chapter 11, the sale has to be approved by a bankruptcy judge. The company did admit that not only was it COVID that put the final nail into the coffin of their company, but in addition to that, the straight-to-streaming options for views has solidified the impending failure of their company. Known for his risque photos with nearly nude women, he pays to pose and sleep with them. Business mogul in legal marijuana sales, professional poker player, and casual hard drugs. The king of Instagram himself, Dan Bilzerian. While no official claims have been made that he has filed for bankruptcy, he did lose his company $50 million. His marijuana company is now in danger of bankruptcy because of his poor choices. It has come to light he rented his $65 million mansion in Bel Air and has since lost that residence due to his financial crisis. Things do not look good for the company Ignite, as Bilzerian seems to have no understanding or concern about what this financial turmoil means. But we will be keeping a close eye on how he digs his company out of the grave he has put it in. TV's secret millionaire had a taxi driver turned property guru flaunt his wealth. However, he soon went bankrupt for a second time with debts exceeding £4 million. Glenn Armstrong worked as a taxi driver before he discovered a fortune in property. Once he dove into creating luxury properties, he appeared on a show called How the Other Half Live. Here is where he showcased his £30 million portfolio of properties. After being chased down by about 25 creditors, Glenn filed for bankruptcy, blaming his financial distress on a robbery where machete-wielding robbers raided his £3 million home. An ex-business partner said they invested over £60,000 in one of his property schemes, and that money was never repaid. He is now banned from engaging in business activity for 3 years. Finally, for anyone who is a fan of boxing, Adrian Broner. He is one of the most controversial figures in the sport. He went from being a global star to filing bankruptcy. One of the worst things that can happen to millionaires is when they choose someone who mismanages their money. This is the case with Broner. Poor financial decisions, bad habits, and indiscipline lead to a loss of wealth. Without a decent manager to really keep him in line with his spending, he has resorted to some pretty unfortunate ways of making money, like begging fans to send him money through his social media accounts. What do you think of these once millionaires gone broke? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to iMillionaire.